Good morning, gang. I don't know if you guys remember the really big burn pile. Well, it's no longer a big burn pile. We got a pile of boxes here, and we've got a new 1-ton engine hoist and a new 1-ton engine stand. That is in anticipation of Rick and his family arriving sometime later this afternoon. I just heard. I wasn't sure when he was going to get here with the fam, but he's doing a lot of reminiscing of old visited places from years gone by. And right now he's in Danville, Illinois, which is about a little over 2 hours away from here. So, having no clue when he was going to be here, I figured I'd come out and get these things put together. They get good ratings. I also got a load leveler. That'll make my life a lot easier. But also picking and pulling stuff stash-wise to assist Rick with Rick and his boys, I guess, with all their projects. I'm also going to be offering up some other stuff, but I'm going to do my best to hang on to that 18 horse Vanguard, because I got a buddy of mine and yours that may be bringing his forlorn Sovereign with a Kohler out to have the Vanguard put in its place. Smart man, smart man. You guys may remember him. He was the gent that had the 7117 and the 7116, I think it was, with the quickway loader, and the one we did the Briggs Vanguard swap on, which, by the way, years later are still doing just fine. That always warms my heart when a job is done well enough that that they haven't come back. That's the best reward to me, is a non-return customer, unless they're just in for service. Same thing with Joshua and his sons. I think it's Joshua. It's been so long since I talked to him. And Lindsay, maybe. Attacks on my brain here. I work on so many people's machines, but anyway, their Conquest from Greenworks in Richmond that just totally jacked up. It's not been back, and neither has the mini bike that we did the series on. So, and a lot of people that are really excited to see the series on the van getting done, as well as that beautiful 62 Impala. And had some people wanting a larger walk around, so I'm going to stop this video because we'll start it back up when Rick and his family pull up this magnificent driveway, and start another video on a walk around of the 62 Impala, or Bel Air rather. So we'll be right back. Hey gang, real quick, we're sitting at the post office, and Mr. Braun, David Braun, sent me a package. Plus, we've got the P.O. box renewed for another 6 months, so it's good until February 28th of 2021 is the next time I'll have to give him some money. So let's see what Dave sent. I can only assume that it is a bottle opener, so looking forward to that. Let's see here. Yep, and let me check the, oh, that's neat. Let's check the note. Is there a note? It's hey Zippo, I'd be honored if you would do this can opener, add this can opener to your collection. Enjoy your videos, Dave Braun, aka Lawnmower Man. Thank you, David. Let me show you. There's the can opener part, and there's the bottle opener part. I do not have one like that, so that's really cool. We'll get that added to the can and bottle openers and jar openers as well. I need to take some time and go through and show you guys all the different can openers, bottle openers, jar openers and whatnot that I've got there. But for now, I got to go run some more errands. David, thank you very, very much, buddy. I'll see you guys on the next one. Well, gang, the shop is a little bit of a train wreck, but I had a visitor over the weekend. Actually, a lot of visitors from Wisconsin. Rick, his two sons, Corey and Robert, and his wife Lisa, who just happens to have a birthday on the same day as me, which just happens to be today, August 10th. He came down bearing gifts and wanted absolutely nothing for the gifts that he brought. Decided he was going to take him a vacation. Him and his wife hadn't had a vacation in 3 years, and they figured, well, make a few stops down along the way and then stop and go see Zippo. So, what did Rick bring? Shorter list is what didn't he bring, okay? So, well, let's get into it. We'll start right here on the small end of things. $292 fender badges. We're just getting started. A set of split headers for the 292 inline 6. These are all for the van with they're long headers. Came with the collectors. Right there. So, not sure what we have there. Oh, this is the heat riser block off plate, but we're not going to use that, and you'll see why. Because the intake manifold and exhaust manifold are shared. Come over here. We've got a set of Thunderbolt 8.2 factory replacement ultra high performance ignition wire set. First, we're going to have an ignition wire set. You might as well also have a brand new distributor. On top of a brand new distributor, you might also want a little bag full of parts, which would be fuel lines and throttle linkages. But for what? Now let's take a look. An Offenhauser dual intake. I mentioned the heat riser. This is where the exhaust manifold meets the intake manifold to heat things up. So you've got to keep things heated up. So how do you do that? Well, you've got to get some parts. I don't even remember what's in there. It's a high volume oil pump. Okay. Where is that? It's in this box right here. Hang on, let me make sure I'm not showing addresses. I'm not. All right. This is from Langdon's Stovebolt. LangdonStovebolt.com. Stovebolt 6, specializing in GM Mopar inline performance parts. So what is it? Well, it is what's going to go in place of the heat riser. And it is this plate here. This plate will get bolted to the area for the heat riser. You need an adapter, but this will go on there, and then you run T's in coolant lines so that you're keeping the intake heated up. That's what that's for. We already saw the oil pump. Let's come over here. We have a box full of Precision Engine Performance, OEM High Performance Engine products. That's that. That is all new dual valve springs. And now we're getting into the valve train. So we've also got new keepers and new caps for the spring. PCV, or just a hose coupler that's for the PCV. And look at that beautiful, beautiful valve cover. The only thing I have to get as far as this goes is the mounting hardware and the appropriate oil cap. Here is a breather. It is the Elite Series breather, bolt-on style side mounting. So it will go on this side. I will position it and drill the holes. Let's see, the gasket's there, so I won't need a gasket, and then get that mounted with the mounting screws. One air cleaner. I'll need two, because we're going to be mounting two carburetors, right? 1, 2. So, well, if you're going to mount two carburetors, you should have carburetors, right? Well, hang on. Before we get there, since we've got new valve springs, we are going to have some new lifters. Now wait, we're not done yet, because if you're going to have new lifters, it'd be kind of nice to have a little bit of a hot cam, wouldn't it? Just a little bit of a hot cam, something. It's 1200 to 4600 RPM. Here we have the gasket set that came with these headers, but we're going to use the gasket out of this Velcro kit. Stop, take a look here. New flex plate, ring gear, dowels. See right here we have a Crower cam. Let's get that sucker open. I haven't even opened this one yet. I've opened everything else. So this is the bump stick. Oh, and it's all, okay. It's all wrapped up. But I'll go over all the technical information on that when the time comes. But two remanufactured carburetors. These are actually Varga carburetors. They are 260 CFM each. So if you multiply that, 260 and by 2, you have 520 CFH. The way that everything has been put together, the engine is going to require roughly 480 CFH. So we may have to do a little bit of dialing back on these Varga carburetors. But the linkage that's included with the intake manifold is compatible with these Varga carburetors, and we'll manage air cleaners when the time comes. Not sure what we're going to do as far as that goes, but here we go. We have two brand new, or two remanufactured carburetors. These were purchased about 5-6 years ago, so hopefully all of the rubber is still in good shape in them. Down here, a couple of Red Hot Techs blast pack mufflers. We may or may not be using those. And somewhere in here is an Hpipe. I'm not sure where it wound up. Hang on, I'm looking. The oil pump. And it's right down there. So let's go ahead and move stuff back over here. And here's the order number. But the generosity of this man, incredible. I'm absolutely floored. And we're nowhere near done, by the way. But here's the Hpipe, and it's 2.5 inch. We're going to go 2.5 inch duals out the back. Give me just a second. Let me clamp this on here. Sorry about the noise. There. But here is our Hpipe. So now that we've gotten through all of this, you guys did see that I went and picked up a engine hoist and an engine stand. Well, there was a good reason why I did that. He even brought me an entire 74,000 original mile, slightly later model 292. It does spin freely. Looks like it has a new fuel pump on it. The distributor got racked. The distributor cap got racked, but that's okay. We've got a whole new distributor that'll be going in it. So we will be pulling this one apart. I will be going through and cleaning up the valves and cleaning up the valve seats on the head. Just generally going through the whole thing, inspecting the bottom end. The first thing that's going to get done though is we're going to go through a few cans of degreaser and get this thing all cleaned up, see what we're working with. And then we're probably going to go with a custom engine enamel color that will complement the 1975 G20 van. So how incredible. The generosity of this man just absolutely blew me away. Completely away. I'm flabbergasted. And I'm also very excited for this winter project. Hopefully we'll get everything all done and assembled and ready to rock and roll by spring. You can see this one has the smog. So this is an unleaded engine. Being an unleaded engine, it has hardened valve seats, which is definitely going to be a plus. I will get the engine numbers off and run the engine numbers and get all the specs off of this as soon as we get it all cleaned up, and we'll find out which head it has on it and what the engine number is. I do believe this came out of a truck. Let's see, that engine mount is in the middle and this engine mount should be forward. It is. Okay. Still should be a direct bolt in. About the only thing I'm going to have to change, which we've already got, is the flywheel, the 4 dowels that go in there, and also the bolt sizes jump up from the early 292s to the later 292s. So it's a larger fine thread, so we'll have to source those as well. But with stove bolt in everybody's back pocket for information and for parts, should be golden. Shouldn't be any issue at all. The Turbo 350 will fit, bolt right up to it, no problem at all. Really excited about this project. So the shop's going to have quite a bit of stuff in it for a while. Fingers crossed that the length of this engine isn't going to tax that engine stand. I know the weight won't. That's a 1,000 pound rated engine stand, but we'll get it mounted to that and we'll probably take the engine hoist out to clean the engine. That way we can lift it and do all that stuff. And to get the engine in and out of the van, this is an absolute must because of the way you have to pull the engine out. And yes, later vans were designed so you could pull the engine out the front. My van is not, and I am not going to hack the radiator support. I'm going to do it the hard way. I do want to thank everybody for all their help and suggestions and information that's just been pouring out for both the Impala and for the van. It's been fantastic, absolutely awesome. And I got one of the nicer compliments from one person who said they feel like they're watching. This is my buddy David Fisher. Said he feels like he's watching an episode of Jonathan W. instead of a Zippo Varga. But yeah, in my day I used to do a whole lot of big engines, but this will be my first straight six, not my first V6, but my first straight six. My first V6 was one that I had put roughly 336 to 339,000 miles on without a rebuild, till it finally spun a main bearing. And that was my 225 cubic inch V6 in my 1966 Buick Skylark, first car I ever owned. Paid a whopping $100 for it and drove the wheels off of it. It only had 70,000 miles on it when I got it. But what a rock star. Just, and the whole family is just incredible. Just incredible. Really enjoyed talking to Corey and to Robert and to Lisa and to Rick. Everybody was just, they real down to earth and so full of information. Rick gave me all kinds of specs on the cam and he just rattled it off from memory. I didn't memorize. Let's see if we can take a look and see if we've got some. Yeah, we've got a tag here we can look at real quick, just to, so that you guys that are bored and want something to do during this trying times. Here's a Chevy 194 to 250 6-cylinder. I may have to look at that. We may not be able to use this cam. That's interesting. Let me look at this paperwork here. No, we don't have any real, do we? Yeah. Oh, we've got specifications on it. 03242, engine application 194 to 250. Well, you guys can let me know if I can use it. But here's all your specs. Duration, 262 degrees on intake, 272 on exhaust, lift, 478 and 490. Clearance hot, 0. Specs listed above are based on rocker-arm ratio of 1.75. That's standard. Approximate spring pressure and part number and all that stuff. But at any rate, here's all of our specs. The lifters are variable pressure lifters, which is kind of neat and interesting. At lower RPM, they'll act just like stock lifters. As you get into the beans and depress that gas pedal, those lifters will stiffen up. The oil won't hydraulically leave the lifters as readily as they will at subdued engine RPM. That translates to more lift on the intake and exhaust valves, which translates to more power. So yeah, that'll happen. Pretty neat. He told me to soak them in diesel to start with. and I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. The only thing I question right now is just the 194 to 250 Chevy. So I have the part reference number for myself and for you guys, 03242. If you feel like looking it up and seeing if that engine, the 292, will take that cam and perform well in it, then we'll go with it. But if not, we'll order a new bump stick. But there we go. The van now has two 292s, one with 147,000 original miles on it, and then this 74,000 mile original. So you know, before the weather turns, we'll get it out, get it all cleaned up. In fact, we'll get it out here probably within this week, just to blast all the grease and whatnot off of it. Ms. Zippo has my pressure washer right now, so I may go borrow it back, and then I'll bring it back to her so she can finish cleaning up her mom's house and whatnot. But that's it. This is your friendly neighborhood Zippo telling you thanks a lot for stopping by. We've got some other stuff coming up, and as we get into it, we'll pop the camera on and include all of you. So from my home, my humble abode, to yours, hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you in advance for all the birthday wishes that are about to roll into the comments. See you guys on the next one. Later. I'm out of here.